Right. This is the Mount Everest Academy AP English Literature Socratic Seminar, where we've been reading Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, and this is a student-led Socratic Seminar. Okay, so Pulcheria.
The mother, yeah, so 9. She really was somewhat a flat character. She didn't really do anything bad, didn't really do anything good, so...
Yeah, she just kind of was there for her son, and that was it.
One thing I noticed about her was that she believed her son's paper, even though she didn't understand what it meant.
She just was
So,
showing
well, that's
supportiveness.
this is supportness for her mother. So there's not that many. But now, Katerina, I don't know that.
I gave her a 7.
Yeah,
6.
Mm.
I gave her 17.
So we're all about in the same area.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Child abuse.
Yeah.
But she was also kind of crazy, so...
She was also very proud and dignified at the same time.
Yeah, she had a lot of pride.
I think that's one of the worst things, yeah, her pride and just like how that got the best of her. Like she wasn't able to just like realize that this is where she is in her life, and she needs to figure out a way to make it work.
Basically, her
She
pride
could never
was...
bow down to her poverty and accept that she was poor.
Yeah,
It
Heather.
seemed like at that point it was what was kind of making her lash out at people, but it was also the reason she wasn't giving up.
Yeah, pride can be a funny thing. It can be like somewhat of a bad attribute, whether when you're not able to do anything with it, but it can be a good attribute if it's like good motive.
For her, it was really both, because it kind of kept her going.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't be, I think it said in the book at one point that she couldn't be broken down.
Right.
But at the same time, she couldn't just accept that, hey, I'm poor, maybe I should fix it.
Right.
Although at the very end, she does break down finally.
Yeah, finally.
She's out there
Finally.
peddling her.
And that's when she dies. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think she really would have had any means to do anything about it. At that point, I think she was so sick
Yeah.
that's true.
that
That's true.
Yeah.
what she was doing was, considering her mental state, was not the best she could do.
All right, so Marmaladov. 4.
7.
5.
I gave him a 6.
Okay, so you two are the why?
Well, I gave him a 7 just because, well, obviously, like people's actions. Like I rank people because of their actions, and to me, alcoholism is more of an addiction, and so it's more of self-inflicting. Of course, it affected his family, but it wasn't something like murder or adultery or something like that. I think it's on a lesser scale just because of the fact that he did love his family and he was a good guy. It was just his addiction that ruined his reputation in his family.
I gave him a 6 because even though he was an alcoholic, his intent was never to hurt his family. He was just suffering from addiction and he couldn't help himself do any better. And there are alcoholics who do hurt their family and do lash out at other people, which I think would make them lower on the scale, but he was one of the few exceptions who didn't ever take it out on anyone but himself.
Yeah, he never really beat his kids, or did he? Because
No,
he
it didn't
didn't.
seem like it.
But that was more of his personality, right? He was a submissive person. I mean, he was beaten by his wife, but I mean,
and his wife didn't drink. So.
yeah.
He was more like just the kind of pathetic loser-like character. You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason I ranked him slightly above like 2 or 3 is because of the fact he did care about his family.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
So what about Pawnbroker?
3.
4.
3.
5.
Because she like beat her sister, it said.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
one point,
and also her
and-
profession is like based on other people's poverty
Yeah.
and other people's desperation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah.
Well, she kind of died early in the book, so... we didn't
Yeah,
really
she didn't
get
really
to-
get fully
Yeah.
fleshed out.
But the little you got of her was...
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone who talked about her had a grudge.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So either that means she was nasty, or it means that we just didn't get it. We just didn't hear from anyone who wasn't biased.
Right.
And pawnbrokers just in themselves are disliked most of the time, considering
Yeah.
that
Yeah, tax
profession.
collectors, pawnbrokers, all those, the ones that take money.